One more thing here before we go back to the phone calls. Jimmy Carter. Former President Jimmy Carter said yesterday that the income gap, grab soundbite 23. This is Jimmy Carter. This is yesterday on the AP website. They released an interview they did with him in Oakland at a Habitat for Humanity construction site. Is he back to doing that? Oh, he never quit doing that then. 30-year anniversary. Wait. What's the 30-year anniversary for being with Habitat for Humanity? Not their 30 years married. It's longer than that. So he and Rosin celebrate a 30-year anniversary of Habitat for Humanity. He's in Oakland. And AP interviewed him, and they put a little bit of the interview on their website. And this is what Jimmy Carter said about the economy and the disparity between the rich and the poor.
Compared to when I left the White House, the difference is twice as great as it was between the richest people and the poorest people. And the middle class have now become more like poor people than they were 30 years ago.
Hey, Jimmy, that's really been exacerbated in the last 5 years when the Democrat Party has been running things, Democrat Party economic policies. And the one thing about Democrat Party economic policies, they don't elevate anybody. Well, other than their cronies. I mean, Silicon Valley people that tie into the Democrat Party do well. CEOs that get into crony capitalism with Democrat President Jeff Immelt, GE, they do well. Hollywood does well. But at Wall Street, rich types that tie in with Democrats and donate, they do well. But nobody else does. The middle class doesn't elevate under the Democrat Party. The poor do not elevate. And the upper middle class doesn't elevate under Democrat Party policy. It's amazing. Democrat Party policies move everybody downward. That's why the gap is what it is. The rich always get richer. That's a mathematical reality. There's nothing you can do about it. The rich already start out with more money, and they invest it, and it grows, and it's just the way it works. And some of them lose a lot of it at the same time, too. So the rich getting richer, that's just a fact of life. It's not universal. Some of them go broke and lose everything. But the fact is that the gap between rich and poor is due to the middle class and the poor getting poorer. And that is a result of Democrat Party policies. Folks, this is not even arguable. Just look at the employment numbers. Look at the number of jobs lost. Look at the number of jobs converted from full-time to part-time because of Obamacare. What do you think that means to income? People are earning less. They're not getting raises. They're losing hours. 90 million Americans are not even working. More and more Americans than ever have gone through their unemployment, 99 weeks, and so they sign up for Social Security disability. They think it's the only way they can survive. When Jimmy Carter was around, it was so bad we had to have a misery index to calculate it. Inflation, unemployment, interest rates, sky high. And I always said that the Obama presidency would be Jimmy Carter's second term, and it is. I'm just amazed. Here's this former Democrat president celebrating 30 years at Habitat for Humanity in the midst of an absolute, what in the world has happened to my TVs? I think Samsung is hacking something's going on in here. Server not found on both of them, and I haven't touched anything. This Samsung stuff, I don't know. I wish Apple would come out with a TV. Anyway, now, network not connected. Check network settings. Use internet service. What in the world is happening? Really, folks, my TVs are acting like computers that can't find the web. And it's the most curious-looking thing. Server not found. Please check for the following. Check for typing error in URL. It's a TV set. Anyway, I have not lost my place. I don't know how it is that a Democrat president, after 5 years of Obama, can sit there and start talking about how poor everybody's getting and not understand why. Well, I understand what they're doing. They're just trying to basically rip the country. The country is at fault. The country is not right. All these mistakes that Bush and the boys made, and we got to go back, and it's all part of the Limbaugh theorem. But it's just amazing to me. Now, he's not the first. Somebody else did it last week talked about this gap between the rich and the poor. And it is widening. It's because the middle class and the poor are getting poorer. They're losing their jobs, for crying out loud. They've been losing their jobs for 5 years.